Good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone. Yeah, I couldn't stay away from the gulag here for too long. Just gotta make sure all systems are up and running and we're ready to go. Let's see here. All right, beautiful. Looks like we're still on holidays here and people are still, we're gonna try to see what we can find over here. So far, let's take a look here. All right, let's take a look at pound yen over here. I was actually looking at pound yen this morning. I was actually looking at pound yen since yesterday there as well. And there were some moves, some really good moves happened. Price went down and came back right up. Like right over here, we went down, filled the gap at the bottom to the left-hand side. Price went back up again, filled the gap to the top side, and now we're in this horrible range over here. I saw price come down. I saw price come down towards 138, 300, and then it went straight right back up. So I was like, oh wow, man, that's a crazy move over there. So we're gonna start to see over here what we're doing on pound yen. We're tapping into the same 4-hour area as we were before. The crazy thing is that this new strain is coming in now. Right? This new strain is coming in and we don't know how that's going to affect the market. UK went on a lockdown, right? Went on a lockdown and with the new strain, all this negative energy around that, and market went down and now we're coming back up. So who knows what's going on. Let's take a look at Forex Factory here. See what's happening. Seems like all countries are giving this cold shoulder to the UK. All right. Let's see here. So EU rejects the latest fisheries offered by the UK. Okay. Probably this made price went back up over here because we went down and then we kind of tapped into this area 138, 500 and came right back up. So looking on the 1 hour time frame, we're basically creating a resistance here. Right? So we got a resistance here. We got a support right down over here at the bottom. This is at 138, 480 and we're in a range over here. The only reason I'm on the stream right now is to make sure that people don't overtrade or they don't break their plans today. They stay very calm and collected. Yeah, basically, let's just stay calm and collected. Let's take a look at. So we're going to take a look at gold over here in a little bit. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold didn't do anything much. It came down to our target at 1869, which we had plotted last night from the Asian session. This was strong support. We broke a support at 1875, came down to another support, and we basically created this clean support over here. Because previously, this was not a clean support because price wicked down and closed back up. So this is a clean support formed here at this point. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, yeah, it's basically ranging over here. I want to trade this morning. Now I'm just watching the price action move. Oh, perfect. Let's see here. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. First chart coming for this week. Yeah, this is where I didn't want to take the sell over here. Entry candle took a sell when the previous candle closed bearish, anticipating it to fill the wick over here. 10 pips secured. It's pretty good, but I would say it was kind of like a risky trade at the same time because the 15-minute candle closed bullish and it's in a range. So if it works, it works, but you have to understand this is not a good habit to create right here. It's going to give you false confidence that things like this will work all the time. So instead of having false confidence, you need to have good confidence. Because I would never take a trade like this. Maybe like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I'd probably take a trade like this. But now, when I know more, I wouldn't take a trade like this. But if it worked, it worked. But we got to move away from this, right? Because the 15-minute candle closed bullish. Looking down to the small time frames, we basically, I mean, this was going bullish to continue up probably. And then we start to come down, you got your pips. So you'll have to be very careful in those scenarios. I think it's not even about being careful. It's going to be about being like, cautious of what's happening. Like sometimes you're going to get those confirmations on the higher time frame that things are going to play out, and they will play out sometimes, but like most times looking back, I mean, I think in normal circumstances, they will have like a lower probability of playing out here. Was this live stream on New York session? Oh, New Year's Eve? Probably not. New Year's Eve. Let's measure how far it was. Oh, this was 14 pips. The wick fail is around 25 pips. So you notice how this wick is a rejection. This is support being formed in the 15-minute time frame. So this is in a range. It's a range over here. You're like the angel we needed, and I'm not even full-time trading, still learning, but soon I'll become for you, Chief. Oh, I'll be coming for you, Chief. Oh, nice. Well, we'll see you there. Can we do a live stream on New Year's Eve since it's locked down? So we will promise to become profitable for 2021. No, probably not. Why do I want to spend New Year's Eve with the gulag? Just explain me that part. Probably the last place to spend time. All right, let's take a look at Euro JPY over here. Euro JPO, this is moving bullish. We were still ranging in this area, 126.370 and 126.600. We've been ranging here. We broke below here earlier on, like the London Open, and now we're coming back inside. We're coming up to this resistance area now, and we measured this range. This is like a 9-8 pip range. Nothing really much happening there. Hey, good morning. Would it be strange to have in your trading plan to not look at the 1 hour time frame? I'm only looking at the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute is 5 minute is really rare. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if you can make it happen without looking at the 1 hour time frame, that's still pretty good. But soon later you're going to realize is that okay, the 1 hour time frame is actually also important too, because sometimes you can see candles form in a way which you may miss otherwise. Let's take a look at this chart over here. Mr. Lendarius. Ooh, impulsive selling idea. This is pound yen 15-minute chart. See, I would want to see a candle close over here for it to continue down, but if you entered on break of 15-minute low, I would close partial prices, started selling bullish. I'm not sure what this means. I would also close partial price, close bullish. Okay. If price was to break the previous low, keep in mind price. Yeah, I mean at this stage, I would probably wait for this candle to close, and then I'll wait for the next candle to break the low to continue down. So conservative right over here, that's perfectly fine. Aggressive, that's aggressive, but also like, a pretty good idea would be to wait for this candle to close for price to continue down. Let's see what happened over here. Was this back in the chart over here? Price is coming down, doji candle, big candle, big candle. Let's take a look here. Doji candle, big candle, big candle. Oh, I think it was this one right over here. No, I don't know. All right, this is the next trade, kept on moving. Oh, nice. Beautiful. 10 pip stop loss is my partial TP. If I'm to lose, price doesn't hit partial TP, I'm going to lose 25%, 1% accepted risk. Oh, nice. Very nice. Managed risk. Total risk was 1%. Closed the trade out at 0.25%. That's pretty good. All right, let's take a look here. What's the cTrader? What's the chance that cTrader gets added to Dominion Markets? Pretty high chance, pretty low chance actually, because the licenses, they cost a lot. It's the license cost and the maintenance fees per month. So for any small starter brokerage, that's why, like starter brokerages, they don't have cTrader, they don't have MetaTrader 5, but we're going to go on with MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5. Hey man, not trading until next year. I have an idea of the trade. Can you please review? Let's take a look over here. So before we take a look at that chart, let's take a look at what's happening at the price action right now, right? So you had one bullish candle went up towards resistance at 138.990. Then you had next candle go bearish. You anticipated the next one to go bearish, but it went bullish, and then we went bearish again. And basically we're creating this support right over here, this minor support. So trading here becomes extremely difficult because we have a support down at 138.350, which is around 35 pips away, but then we got the support over here. So I think if you're really itching to trade, you'll have to wait for price to break below 138.620, 600 for price to continue down. And this is like a 28 pip range, 30 pip range, pretty nice decent range over here. I'm going to be using this as like a paper trade here today. That if we break below 138, 620, 630, we should continue moving down. So we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is 4-hour chart. If we break the 4-hour high or close above 139, 160 on 30-minute 1 time frame, we could move up. Yeah, that makes sense. Up to 139, 670, all the way up over here. That makes sense. So you're probably looking at price to break above. I would say even if you look on the 30-minute chart, I think break above 139 could be a really good start of the move, going up towards, let's say 139, 200, which is like 20 pips away, and then all the way towards 139, 300. So that could be a pretty decent target right over here. If you break above, 139, 138, 980, 990. So you see now, we have pretty big ranges here, right? This range is around 30 pips. This range, bottom range, is around, 34 pips. So that's why it's okay to look at the 15-minute time frame because, we got bigger ranges over here. Your JPY is still in a predicament. Are you only streaming today or this week? Probably going to stream till, I don't know, man. Like I wake up at like 6:30, 7 a.m. every day anyway. So, I'm bored. It's better than to just come over here and really try to practice rather than just laying in bed doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why did you choose Dominion Markets in the end to trade on? Because I partnered with some industry specialists, and then we decided to launch it. I had capital on the side and decided to invest that capital into this project. So that's why we started this. Also, when I think about it, I paid like $40,000 in commissions to Vantage FX this year. Man, 40,000. I was looking at my transcripts and I was like, holy. So I decided the cost and I'm like, okay, you know what? It'll make sense to trade on your own platform and not to pay those fees. Man, that was a lot. 40,000. Let's see here. Have you ever noticed you can take more losses when not trading in clean zones like mirror candle zones? Oh yes. When your zones are choppy, you're gonna take more losses. Because if price was choppy before, it's gonna be choppy again. So this is whole choppy area, like between 138.660 and 139. This is really choppy because look, the candles are up, down, up, down. If we break below 138.620, 630, this is not a choppy area. It's like clean candles moving up. So there's a high probability for the next candle to continue down as well. It's like a 30 pip range. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is, so you entered after price broke the low for price to continue down. Perfect. Perfect trade. You had a clean candle to the left hand side. Price went below these wicks over here and beautiful. Nothing better than this. Are you an engineer? No. You know what? I wanted to be a software guru, you know. I wanted to like program softwares. I wanted to have that hacker lifestyle, you know. But then so I did computer sciences, and during computer sciences I got bored because it was pretty boring, you know. Coding and all that stuff is really really boring, and then I lost interest. And I did a bunch of other things until like, you know, I found my niche and just focused on it. I remember when Kevin asked you to open a brokerage, but you said maybe because that would surprise. Oh no, we've been working on it for a little while, and I didn't want to announce it once it was in its baby steps, but everything is approved. Now we're just waiting for approval from Medicoats, and yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. So right now, price is coming down. It's almost coming at this bottom of this wick over here. So this is the problem. Either we wait for this candle to break the low over here, or if the candle closes above this area, then the next candle breaking the low would mean now price can continue down towards, you know, 138.350. I'm a computer engineer. It's not boring at all. Come on, man. Man, I just lost interest in coding. You know, and then I think I lost interest because there were other people who were really, really good at coding, and I was really, really bad at coding, and I was just like, man, these guys are way too good, so I stopped. And then I focused on rugby, so I made a rugby team in my university. I guess that counts, right? Took the trade as the candle breaks the low at this point right here, okay. Secured 13 pips, put stops at break even, beautiful. Amazing, man. See this? You secure pips on a currency pair that has high volume. You're always going to make money. You know, like at the end of the day, if you secure positions, then that's it. Do you have an idea about how it's going to be the spread on the broker? The spread is going to be pretty average. You know, like same like as Trader's Domain. You know, some other crypto brokerages out there, like, you know, spread 1.4, 1.3, 1.6 pips. You know, but we're going to keep it below 2 pips, 100%, because I'm going to be trading it on it as well, and I need spread below 2 pips to trade. You know, if it's above 2 pips, then it makes no sense at all. All right, let's take a look at this. Oh, we already looked at this. We looked at this. Looks pretty good. I think you need to maybe look at it in more detail on the smaller time frames, which is why we have these zones over here. You know, break above this area, we can potentially come up over here, and then potentially come up over there. And if you break above there, then we can potentially go towards, I think this is the area we had marked on, 139.600. Also, this wick fill right over here. But currently, we are facing the downside. You know, so you have to measure this range. This is a 31 pip range, you know, 31, 32 pip range. So it's important. Alright, so since there's no numbering here on this chart, and this chart was sent twice, I'm going to try my best here. This candle went up, respected the high of the previous candle, broke the low of the weak bullish candle over here. So lower time frame, we may have a break below 138.300 and continue down. 138.300 and continue down. Below this area right here, okay, yeah, makes sense. But the thing I want to point out is, I know you're looking on the higher time frame. The thing I want to point out is that if we break below 138.300 and we continue down towards 130, like let's say 137.900, why aren't we focusing on this range over here? You know, why aren't we focusing on this 34 pip range? You know, why only focus on a break below 138.300? You know, instead of focusing on this range that we have right now. You know, see, this candle is now breaking below the low over here. So even if I take like a paper trade that, okay, we broke the low, the stop should be above this candle, and we should aim for price to, you know, continue down towards 138.400. This is a very valid range. You know, so if we go back to the chart over here, so right, if we break below this area, you have to identify where price can continue to fall. You know, maybe like a smaller support down over here or down over here. Same idea on the other hand, we had here resistance, and this candle rejected and closed below this, candle rejected. Okay, so you think we're going to go down. So I guess now you got to break it down on a smaller time frame here as well. I know it's a different chart, but you need to break it down on a small time frame here as well. Will it have Islamic accounts or no? No, there will be no Islamic accounts. Probably, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We're right now we're waiting on confirmations from Metacoats. So until we get that, we can't say anything. What's this one here? I'm a mechanical engineer with over 10 years experience and 10 years searching how to get out. It's been 2 years in trading. Didn't find profitability until I found you. Oh. Or until you found the live streams. That's the thing. Until you found the live streams. Oh, a lot of charts coming here today. Alright, this candle is about to close in 4 minutes. For price to continue down, we need it to close bearish. And then we need the next candle to break the low. And we can get in this range over here. So this is a pre-Christmas special. Why Islamic accounts exists? Is there an exclusivity to them? Just asking. I think the only reason the Islamic accounts exist is because, you know, there's a demand in the market, right? There are a lot of Muslims who don't understand, because here's the thing, right? Like in Islam, swaps are considered as like, you know, like interest payments, so that's kind of like not allowed there. So there's a big Muslim market there as well who trades, and I think they don't understand how swaps work. You only get charged swaps if you hold a trade over a day, you know, and if you're holding a trade over a day, you're not getting charged swaps. So it makes no sense to get like a Islamic account, because number one, there are high commissions on Islamic accounts. Number two, there's a high spread on Islamic accounts, you know, so broker is actually making money from spreads and commissions. So, I mean, if you're not going to hold trades over days, then it makes no sense to have an Islamic account, because then you're not going to be paying swaps. Either you pay swap fees or you get swap fees. Advantage now. I'm advantage now in the leaving Spain where I live. Could you recommend another good broker, or maybe yours in future? I have a 100K account. Yeah, I mean, once we launch, I think in this week and next 2 weeks we're going to be doing a lot of testing, and that once that's completed, probably going to be launching on the 11th January there, somewhere using that too. Like a lot more details about, you know, deposits and stuff like that are going to be coming out in the next week or so. So we'll see what happens. IC markets is pretty good. You know, like if you have an option to go to IC markets, it was really good. I was with IC markets for about a year and a half, and then they left Canada. Whatever happened, right? So yeah, that was IC markets there. So see, now we're coming into this clean range over here. This candle is also about to close. I mean, there are some people who took sells as we broke below the low. There are some people who are just waiting. And when I say people took sells, I mean paper trades, right? Not executed trades. I mean paper trades. Like people took paper trades. Because man, this is 3 days before Christmas. So you have to take paper trades. Don't take real trades and lose, man. I mean, over the holiday week. That's the worst. Imagine you're like, oh yeah, man, I traded the holiday week and I lost. Man, sometimes people buy gifts and they consider that as money lost, you know, so don't lose money in the markets. Alright, you're a JPY. Are we going to come into this clean range to continue up or not? 126,850. Hey Raja, I'm confused. I want to know why I lost the trade. Oh, someone sent the whole link over here. Alright, let's see. This is from Cropped Harbor. So, gold, 30-minute, entered an impulsive trade. And I know why, and I don't know why. Oh, I want to know why you lost the trade. Okay, so you anticipated price to go up. This is a 30-minute time frame. And it was basically, it didn't go up, it came down, it went back up. So okay, here's the thing, right? Let's take a look at GJ. GJ is about to close. Perfect. So 30-minute candle closed bullish, and you took a buy anticipating price to continue going up, right? So I think first thing we need to understand is that how far is that range. So this is like almost like a 20, 21 pip range. And I don't think, first of all, I don't think this was enough range for price to go in. And if you look on the 15-minute time frame, what I want to see is that is this wick a bearish 15-minute candle close? So if I go down to a 15-minute time frame, what I can see is that, oh, okay, this was actually a bearish 15-minute close. So see, 15-minute candle closed bearish. So there was no buys at that point. And also it closed bearish after rejecting this area over here. So there was literally no buys at that point. You'd wanted price to break above this area to continue going up. So like, if you look on the 15-minute time frame, candle was closing against you, so there was no buys at all. Maybe buys after here it made sense a little bit, but then, with this candle closing like this, they were short-lived as well. All right, candles closed bearish here. 15-minute candle closed bearish. 30-minute candle has also closed bearish. So yeah, perfect. The stage is set. If someone's in all sells already, I would say maybe be careful a little bit because these candles are closing against you here, and you need these candles to start flipping bearish to start continuing down. So it's going to be a tough position here if candles don't flip bearish. I mean, if we break below 138.620, then we break below 138.570, then we have clean ranges going all the way down towards 138.350. All right. Hey Raja, I just want to understand how can I improve my backtesting. Yeah, just if you're using the simulator, okay. So this is, I think, the best simulator to use, soft4fx.com. If you're using the simulator, you have to identify what time are you going to be simulating in, right? And just do that for once or twice trades, in that session. Like if you're only going to use the New York session, take 1 or 2 trades in that, go to the next day and the day after that. So that's how you're going to get better at backtesting on a simulator. Add PayPal or other methods in your broker if you can, because we Asian don't have a lot of Bitcoin withdrawals. Okay, yeah, we're going to work on that. PayPal deposits. See, the thing with PayPal deposits is that people deposit via PayPal, and then we have some broke people who deposit and then they do chargebacks. So that's why most brokers, they don't offer PayPal, because once you deposit via PayPal and you lose the account, you can just go to PayPal and just do a chargeback, and PayPal is just gonna, I mean, it just ruins your reputation, by the way, with PayPal as well. Do you have information on spreads on Dominion if I'm looking for a broker less than 1.2? Probably not. 1.2, probably not. Probably you're gonna get. Here's the thing, right? Spreads, they're always variable. They're always fluctuating. So even if I look at, let's say, Trader's Domain right now, so I'm gonna look at Trader's Domain and I'm gonna look at the spreads right now. Their spreads are like, okay, right now it's at 1.2, goes to like 1.0, 1.1, 1.3, 1.2. So it's always variable. There are some brokerages, where the spreads are variable from 1.3 to 1.8. Trader's Domain is on like 1.2, 1.0, something like that. So it's always variable there. Is this going to be recorded? Yes. All right. Can you chart BTC USD? Okay, let's take a look over here. BTC USD. All right, we're coming down. We're about to break the low here at 138.560. We are about to break the low at 138.560, boys. Let's take a look at BTC USD. Okay, so daily is at 23,000. We broke about 23,000, went to 24,000, 24,200. 4-hour time frame is coming up here a little bit slowly. We're creating this resistance area right over here. Ooh, 1 hour candle has like a much tougher resistance at 23,000 here at this point. Yeah, I think based on price action, we're just at resistance over here. Yeah. So we're gonna keep an eye on pound yen over here, and let's see what happens. And I think it's time for my coffee here. Yeah, I'll be right back. Get some coffee in. All right. What's happening here? This isn't normal Gulag song. It's triggering my OCD. Please change the song. Gulag's gonna get ready for some new songs coming in 2021. Okay, let's take a look over here. Okay, we're coming down. We're breaking below the low. This candle is about to close in 5 minutes. Pretty good, pretty good. The 30-minute candle is also coming down bearish over here. I think as we're coming down, The only thing we'll need to keep in mind is going to be this rejection area around, 138,500. Oh, someone mentioned 138,500. Okay, yeah, makes sense. Because, we had clean candle here, but then this candle started from right down over here. And if you look to the left-hand side, there's a bit of a consolidation here. So we're not, ignoring this area. We're keeping this in the back of our mind. We're keeping this with us because price can maybe reject this area. That's why we're keeping it in the back of our mind, because that rejection can happen. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, we're basically breaking above the high over here. So if I was in a paper trade at this point, I'd be closing 50% at this point. Because if the candles are moving against me, they're breaking the previous highs, then, I want to be careful a little bit with that trade. Because even though if this candle closes with a small body, there's no sells at that point, So now if it's coming back to the entry point, it's getting pretty risky at this point. Let's take a look at this chart over here. This is 15-minute. I entered the sell with my confirmations, but one being that 30-minute candle did not close bearish. Okay, right here. So I thought it might do mirror that candle to continue down. Oh, nice. My entry was on 15-minute close. Do you think it was a valid trade idea? I think it was a risky trade idea. I'm not going to say it's a valid trade idea. I would say it was a risky trade idea. But if it worked out, played in your favor, very well. Because, sometimes, we're going to see trade ideas that we may think is going to play out because, on the sidelines it looks good. But, yeah, sometimes, you'll be able to differentiate between good trading ideas and trading ideas that seem good, which may not be good. How could you catch that London sell push? Oh, probably talking about this push right over here. London sell push. So we were coming up. We weren't really breaking below. Yeah, it was pretty hard to catch that push down. I think maybe a break below this area, but it was pretty tough. Because there was no confirmations. Even if I go down to the 5-minute time frame, there was basically no confirmations. We could argue a break below, this area would make sense for price to continue down, but then again, if this is a 24 pip range, it was still pretty risky because you had support over here, and then yeah, I guess that was the only way it could have done, because once the 445 candle started right over here, the 5 a.m. one, then you had a support over here and support over here, and this was just like news when price came down, so it was pretty risky at that point. I'm confused. Sometimes we mention there are clean candles to the left, but now you mention zones which are further to the left. Can you please explain the concept? Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? So there are clean candles here to the left-hand side. So we have to understand that this week is going to be a really hard week. Price is not going to behave as it's supposed to behave, as it would in normal conditions, right? So let's get that straight. Furthermore, we have clean candles here. So the anticipation was the price, if it continues down and breaks below, there's a probability it can continue down towards coming down over here, right? But at the same time, we have this zone here to the left-hand side. So we're keeping this in our mind, because even if you break below 138, 640, 630, that's like a 15, 16 pips away. And if price comes down over here, this is where it's more important to start securing positions. Because price can bounce here, because price bounced before that as well. We're not saying it's going to 100% bounce. We're saying it could bounce here. There's a probability. You have to understand there are always probabilities in the market. There's a probability it can bounce. If there was no support over here and there was a clean and we just had this clean range and no range over here, then we would say, okay, you know what, it can go all the way down over here. But since there was a roadblock here before, there could be a roadblock here again, so there could be. So everything has a probability. Sometimes when we get clean, let's say setups, just like right over here, price broke down. There was a clean setup for price to go down. There was a high probability for it to go down, but then again, there was a lower probability for it to go against you. So, so I would say this was that lower probability where price didn't continue its direction here. Took advantage of the offer and purchased a lifetime subscription. Oh, nice, man. Congratulations. Yeah, that's a pretty strong area here, like 138, 500, 450 area. Really strong. And this 4-hour candle is about to close in like an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, at this stage, just gotta wait for this candle to close. 30-minute candle is about to close, 15-minute candle is about to close. And if we close back above these areas, then we're coming back into this ranging area. Yeah, there we go. Now we're back into this ranging area here. The worst, I think you're gonna find trading difficult when you try to solve every move. You know, when you try to solve every candle moved, you're gonna get stuck in trading. That's what I don't try to do. You know, if price is rejecting this area, I'm not going to try to solve why it's rejecting this area, because it makes no sense. Because even if I try to solve why it's rejecting this area, it wouldn't make sense, because I won't be taking a trade based on that rejection at all. You know, what I'm going to be waiting for is for price to break above 139 even over here, for price to continue up towards 139,900. Over here, all this over here, this is for me not to take a trade, even though on 15 minute it looks good, because, you know, we had this clean range down over here. But at the same time, we kind of ranged here before as well. And if we measure this range, it's like a 19, 20 pip range, could go up. But just for my own, like, you know, visual and sanctity, I would want to wait for price to break above 138, you know, like 139, to have like a cleaner range to move all the way up over here. Like, you know, so sometimes when price doesn't close in a way we want, or if it does some weird movements, I just don't try to solve it. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'll just let price do what it does, and if it prints something that I can recognize, then I'm going to execute on that. Can you please explain your journal of yesterday of 1 hour time frame? I'm getting some problem to understand it clearly. Journal of yesterday on the 1 hour time frame? I don't even remember what happened yesterday. Oh, it was right over here. I know now. Yeah, I mean, it was simple. Price came down, made a low. So this was a support here. Price made a support. And then price went up. This candle closed with no wick at the top. It's something we talked about on Sunday. Candles closing with no wicks. Next candle closed with no top wick. So this was a high confirmation for price to go down. And we basically went down over here. And this was a 28, 30 pip range. It was a pretty good range for price to go down. And then we formed a support around 137. Looking left hand side, pretty strong support over here. So it's pretty simple, right? I mean, price rejected that support, closed bullish. Next candle had to go bullish, as what we learned on Sunday. And then we dropped down to the 30-minute time frame to see those confirmations. And yeah, price broke above the high, and that was the trade for price to continue up towards, you know, 137,900. Why do you want to buy the highs and sell the lows rather than buy the lows and sell the highs? Because when you're buying the lows, you're buying when candles are still moving down, and that doesn't make any sense. You know, now if you look on the 15-minute time frame, and this is the reason why I would wait for the 30-minute to close, is because 15-minute, we know there's a probability it's going to close bullish, right? But we also know that it's a lower probability than the 30-minute. If we can get a 30-minute candle closing bullish, that would have a much higher impact on the bias of price moving up, you know, rather than just a 15-minute. So, you know, like I'm using this week and then next week to not take any trades at all. I haven't taken a trade in December at all either. I've just been watching price action, watching price move, really solidifying my concepts. You know, so I'm just waiting for this candle to close. If a 30-minute candle can close bullish with the wick on the top, then we can anticipate the next candle to continue moving bullish. Because, you know, like 30-minute has a higher confirmation and 15-minute has a lower confirmation. So it's good for your, like, you know, like your patience as well, you know, if you're not trading this month. Let's take a look at this chart here. Good morning, Raja. Can you please take a look at this chart over here? Entry when the broke of the low over here, close 50%, close full position when the candle closed bearish. Oh, bullish. Okay, yeah, it's pretty good. I think when we were talking about on the 5-minute was that this is where you were managing your trade better here. Candle broke the high over here, closed 50%. And then looking at the 15-minute, once it closed, then yeah, that was the full close right over there. All right, what's this? How much percentage do you secure when the price hits 10 pip profit? Almost around like 80%, 90%. I close 90% positions. That's pretty good because the idea is to secure profits all the time. Wow, gold is still ranging over here. You know, there are news that gold may fall over these holidays because you know the vaccines are coming in, and when the vaccines are coming in, that means it's good for the economy. You know, if that's good for the economy, then gold should continue falling. Fundamentally, it makes sense. Okay, do you prefer slow moves? No, I prefer high volume moves. I don't prefer slow moves. I prefer when there's volume in the market. You know, when there's volume in the market, then there's a high chance for price to move. And when there's volume in the market, you can basically get your trades. 30-minute trades, 20-minute trades, 15-minute trades. Pretty chill day here today. You know, we got around 100 people here in the Zoom. We got around 1,200 people in the Gulag. So pretty good. What's your opinion on the vaccine? You know what? Everyone's going to take the vaccine. I mean, everyone's going to be taking the vaccine. If you don't take the vaccine, it's not mandatory, but if you don't take it, then there's going to be some restrictions, you know, like you won't be able to go to the gym, won't be able to go to the grocery stores or to the bank, and then like your movements are going to be really limited. So for you to do that, you'll have to take the vaccines. All right. Ooh, this is moving up now. We close back in the range and go right back up here. Now we have clean range over here. Pretty good for like a visual reference here. Even though you're not taking trades, it still feels good because, you know, if the sells didn't work out and closed back in the range, it made sense for it to continue up. So we can say this move down was a little bit of a fake out. Hey, I thought you were coming back in January. Well, I changed my mind. I've noticed that the first 15-minute candle of 30-minute doesn't really move good, but the second half of 30-minute candle continues when the lower high is broken. Yes. Which is why on impulse entries, I prefer impulse entries to happen in the second half of the candles rather than the first half of the candles. All right, let's see what's happening over here. Please have a look at pound Swiss. Is that a double top formed? I think you need to send a chart. Without you sending charts, we can't look at anything because it says on the screen, don't say look at this or look at that. Send a labeled chart. So that's what we need to do. Have you ever taken any psychedelics? I did mushrooms a few times. It's pretty good. Came into market fluidity December 2019. It's December 2020, and 1 year later, I'm 100%. Oh, 100 times better. Oh, nice. That's amazing. Just getting better at reading price action, I guess. That's it. Once you read price, once you understand how to read candles, how to read price action, man, you ditch everything. You ditch everything because all indicators, you know, they're all lagging indicators. They'll tell you where price is going to go after price has moved a little bit, you know. So if you're focusing on price action, even though if you're not trading, if you're only like, you know, like just watching and visualizing where candles are going to go and it does the same thing, man, that adds to your confidence a lot. You don't trade only in December or also January. I'm going to trade January. In December, I decided to take off because, you know, a lot of uncertainties in December here. Lots of uncertainties. You have vaccines, you have the virus. Now we have the new strain of the virus. It's surprising how the new strain of the virus it developed in one of the biggest cities in the world. Either it had to be New York, had to be Miami, had to be California, London, or some big city. You know, and obviously now they say it's going to spread really fast because, you know, if everyone's leaving London, magically everyone from all over the world was in London that day. And now magically it's going to spread all over the world. You know, because everyone from the world was on that airport. Man, crazy. We're predicting stuff now, and yeah, I think it's going to come true. I think the new strain is going to be called COVID-21. COVID-21. That's my prediction. So let's see what happens. Can you check my simulation trade and give me your thoughts, please? Simulation trade. Close below support. Price almost hit TP around 9 pips, then retraced back. When it was near entry point, it took off 80%. Okay, nice. So when it was near entry point, you took off 80%. 3 pips lost. That was 20% of the remaining trade. Oh, nice. Beautiful. So you managed risk at that point. That's pretty good. That's very good. You managed risk. See, managed risk. That's pretty good. Now the next step. Okay, so here are like 2 steps, right? So I'm gonna give this information here. So there's like 2 steps to trading. The first step is when you execute on a trade, right? And when that trade goes in profits and you start to look at, okay, you know what, we're going in profits and this and that. And then trade comes back to your entry point. Now you're thinking that, okay, if a trade is coming back to my entry point, what would make the trade go in the opposite direction? You know, that's something you really have to get used to now. This is like an advanced step which you need to take. That what would make the trade go against you? So if you took a sell down over here and price is coming back up, you now constantly start thinking, what will make the trade go against me? And you start to understand is that, okay, if we had a support right over here, right? We had support right over here. This candle broke below. This candle broke the previous candle's low to continue down, but it didn't, and it's closing back in the range. Then maybe you start thinking that, okay, if my sell is not going to work, and if this candle is closing back in the range, maybe this will make the next candle move bullish because now we're closing back in the range. So when you start thinking based on these situations, then automatically you're gonna start closing your losing positions early because you're going to identify this, that hey, you know what, my sell is probably not a good idea. Probably if the candles are closing in this way, maybe this would mean the next candle is going to continue moving bullish, or it's going to continue moving against me. You know, so you always got to keep these 2 things in mind. What will make price go down and what will make price go up? I want to start my little brother into trading, planning on starting him out here in January. Is there any negative? See you with extensive amounts of demo trading. I think the first step you need to, or a new trader needs to take, is a new trader needs to start to understand what candles mean. You know, like when you have, like, what are candles basically? What do they mean? What do wicks mean? How do candles move? Definition of trends. What's a trend? How do candles move in trends? You know, so those basic concepts are really important. Does the price action rules that we follow on lower time frames apply the same for the high time frames, 4-hour time frames? Yep, they apply on the higher time frames as well. Because if you look on the daily time frame here, right? Let's take a look on the daily, and let's take a look at something really simple, like this right over here, right? So daily candles, basically they had this consolidation over here. Price was consolidating. We had this breakup, right? We broke up. We made a structure high over here at 139.750, came back down. Now as this candle was coming down, there was this clean candle, but also we had this consolidation over here. So we don't know whether the next candle is going to go up or down. So anyway, next candle didn't break the low over here. If it broke the low, there was a probability for it to go down, but it didn't broke the low, it closed bullish. So you waited 1-2 days, it closed bullish. Now you're like, okay, there's a high probability for it to fill the wick and continue up towards, 139.800 if it respects the low right over here. You know, same concepts. We go down to a 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame also, we're going to have the same concept here, because now looking on the 4-hour, we're closing below this resistance, right? On the 1-hour time frame, this looks like a clean range. I'm sorry, on the 15-minute. But on the 4-hour, we have this resistance here. And if we know that if we break above this area, there's a very high probability we can continue up to fill this wick at 139,500, which is also the support which we had on Friday here as well. So it's a pretty good range over here if we break above. So then, you know, we go down to the small time frames to see if we can get that confirmation break above here or not. But like all like time frames, candles, they all move the same way. If you look on gold, we look at the daily time frame, you'll see that most candles, they move the same way. I mean, here as well, you know, daily candle, clean range, broke above the high, boom, up, and next one continues up to fill the range over here. It's just a matter of, like, you know, on high time frames, you have to wait a little bit longer. You know, and that's where most frustration comes in for most people, because, you know, now you got to wait a little bit longer. And if you enter too early, you go in a drawdown too early, and then it's a bit of a mess. 30-minute candle has closed over here, and yeah, looks like we're creating the support. Let's remove this big fat zone. Yeah, this is what we have right now. We need price to close above 139 so we can continue on moving bullish. Yeah, that's the support we have. When backtesting, is there a way to know if move happened because of news or whether it was just a genuine move? Struggling with this, as unsure whether my understanding is incorrect. Yeah, I think you'll need to look at the news times here, basically. So whenever you see a big move, just go to the calendar and see. Holy. The new strain is here now. So, yeah, so you need to look at the calendar and see that, okay, what time did that move happen? And, like, you know, so that's going to help you in that way. But any breaking news, it's going to be pretty tough to find that breaking news. Because breaking news are not planned news, right? They're not in the calendar. You suggested the 10 essentials of Forex book. How come you use how come you don't use trend lines or fibs, since he goes into very deep detail about those? Oh, why don't I use trend lines when that book goes into trend line information? Yes, very simple, because I'm a very selective reader. You know, when I opened that book, I wanted to know about consolidation zones, and that's the only thing which I learned from that book, the consolidation zones. That's it. Like, if I wanted to learn about trend lines, I would have learned about trend lines, you know. So when you're learning something, it's not important you learn everything. Just focus on a few simple things that you want to focus on, and just do that. You know, I've just done that, and it's been wildly amazing. Hey, what's one piece of advice would you give to someone in their 20s trying to build his or her foundation? I think if in your 20s, just take your time, you know. Take your time and things are going to fall in place. I mean, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was 28. You know, I'm 34 right now, 33, 34, and I'm still a baby. You know, in the world, I'm still a baby. If you think you're young, man, I think I'm super young. Because listen, since with this new venture I'm starting, the brokerage venture, there are people who are deep in this business than me. You know, older than me, bigger than me, they make more than me, they have more than me. I'm still a baby at this stage. You know, so if you're in your 20s, you're extremely lucky that you have access to this knowledge and you're in your 20s. I think the best thing you can do in your 20s is save money. That's it. You got to save money. I've spent a lot of money in my 20s and I 100% regret it. You know, like, I spent money where I shouldn't have spent money. And, you know, clubs, clothes, shoes, didn't matter at all. You know, now when I look back, it doesn't matter at all. Like, half the people I was trying to impress back then, I don't even talk to them anymore. That's fact. I don't even talk to them anymore. I haven't talked to them in what, like 10 years? Fuck, it's been 10 years. 8 years, 5 years, even 5 years I don't talk to them anymore now. You know, so things change, your relationships change, your situations are going to change. So if you're in your mid-20s, man, take your time, save money. Just, yeah, that's all I can say, man. Just save. Because once you go in your 30s, your midlife crisis. Okay, so this is what's going to keep you away from having a midlife crisis going into your 30s. If you're going to save money in your 20s, you're going to thank yourself when you're in your 30s. Because you're going to have a bankroll to play with when you're in your 30s, man. Like, you got mortgage comes in, car payments comes in harder. You know, like, if you don't make it in one of your jobs and you have money saved up, man, you're going to be so thankful to yourself. But, man, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In your 20s, just save money. I also think that with all this COVID thing happening, we're moving into a world where most of the things are going to be done online. 100% things are moving online now. You know, so online ventures are going to take up speed. More cloud computing is going to happen. More. So I was reading this article where all major, like, you know, restaurants who do these drive-throughs and stuff, you'll be able to make orders from. I mean, it's not a new concept, but it's going to be scannable orders. Like, you go to drive-thrus, you'll be able to just scan and get your order right then and right there, instead of, like, you know, giving the order and waiting and paying. So, like, a lot of new innovations are coming in. It's all going to be online. Everything's going to move online here now. How do you interpret a candle that creates a new higher high or lower low? Oh, that means it's going to move up when a candle makes a higher high or a higher low. You know, I mean, if the next candle, if we get candles breaking above 139, then there's a high probability for price to continue moving bullish. That's what I'm going to see if a candle closes with a higher high or a higher low. Like, if you look on your JPY over here, this 30-minute candle closed above, and this is the new 30-minute candle starting now. And we have clean ranges going all the way towards, you know, 126, 700, 10 pips away, 9 pips away. So now when we go down to the 15-minute time frame, we want this candle to close bullish for price to continue moving up. Because even though it closed above resistance, we need this candle to close bullish to justify next candles to continue moving up. What about saving and investing? That's good. Save and invest. You can invest. You can invest in a lot of things, you know, businesses. You can invest in the S&P 500. You know, you can invest in the US index there. I mean, they perform really well. I mean, long-term investments, 100%. Property investments, 100%. You know, volatile investments like online stores, they're good, but I mean, I think the performance of an online store depends on the performance of the person running it. You know, if you have a person who's running an online store just because he saw someone else running an online store and you want to invest in it, I don't think that's going to be a good investment, because you're counting on that person's you know, performance basically. I mean, if you look at real estate, 10 years, 15 years, they always go up. So, I mean, I would just save money. I'm still saving money. I don't spend money at all. That withdrawal I had from Vantage FX for about 300,000, that's saved. I'm not putting that at all anywhere. It's just save money. For what? Maybe for my 40s. I don't know. We're moving in very strange times now. Extremely strange times. We don't know what's going to happen in the next year. All right, let's take a look at this chart over here. This is closed 70% when 5-minute candle turned bearish and secured 5 pips. All positions closed. Okay, nice. That was a risky trade in this range, but you made it work. Very nice. So now this is a 15-minute candle, and for it to continue moving up, you needed to break the high over here for price to continue up in this range. I think a really good buy is going to be above 139. Really good buy. I was motivated by that post of the old car you posted. I sold my gas guzzler in 2019 and now I drive a Civic, low maintenance. Yeah, man, low maintenance. I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I've learned from life. Like, if you keep your expenses low, you're going to have more money in the bank. And when you have more money in the bank, later on, you can use that money to grow it somewhere else. You know, but if your expenses are high, man, it's going to be really hard to save money. I have 2 cars, you know, a Kia Sorento we bought for about 26,000, and a Honda Civic I bought in 2015 for 17,000. Both are cash cars. I have no payments on them. There are no bills on that car. We only pay insurance. So now you can imagine all that money being spent on cars is just being saved. At least the new car is going to be coming in January. That's on the company name, and that's also because it's a tax write-off. So I'm buying a really, I think from my standards, a really good car I'm purchasing after 4 or 5 years. So because that's the thing too. Like, I'm not interested in cars anyway, so this just seems like a good financial decision at this point. But physically, gold, it's good investment. Yes, gold, it will always move up. All the time it's going to move up. But the problem is that once it has its down cycles, how impatient are you going to be to hold those down cycles, right? Because look, right over here, 2011 moved up to 1900, came all the way down to $1,000 right over here after 4 years, and moved all the way back up to 2000s then. So you can hold gold, but gold is like an investment for 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30-year investment, because you got to be able to hold down in these cycles over here too. How do you feel about this scammer lady talking options, making videos about you? You know what? People are not going to hate you if you're not big enough. So when you have people hate on you, or when you have people like talk bad about you, that means you're doing things big enough for them to talk about it. That's all what it means. If you look at all the good people in the world, like people talk bad things about the good people. You look at Dana White. Dana White took UFC from nothing to what it is right now. And I posted a video on my Instagram about Dana White where he was still holding matches during March and April, and everyone was saying such a bad idea. This guy doesn't care about this virus and this and that. So much negativity was thrown his way, and he's like, hey, you know what? I just do what I do best. And if people want to talk, they can talk all they want. So whatever you're doing in life, and if you think that's the best thing for you, your family, and people around you, just do it, man. And if you think people are going to talk about it, that's good, because you're doing it big enough. So whatever you think is best for you or for the people around you, just do it. Don't focus on what people say or how they say it, because, man, at the end of the day, people are always going to talk, whether it's good or bad. And at the end, what's going to matter is that did you execute on your ideas or not? Like guys talking about, oh, Raj's launching a brokerage now, because that's the next step. I've traded. I really enjoy trading. I teach as well. I enjoy teaching as well. So I think launching a brokerage is like the next step. I have capital on the side, and I think I can use that capital to invest in this business. And yeah, let's see how this runs next year. In building your account, did you use sometimes very big lot size? Sometimes, once in a while, I did use a larger lot sizes. I did increase my risk that way. I can't understand how some traders build their small account to a big one in just 1 or 2 years. That's very, very possible. Here's what happens. When you're looking at one session, every day, and you're looking at, okay, so the only example I can give is my own example, right? And my own example is that I've been looking at this New York session for the last 4 years now, and I've just been focused on one pair for the most part, pound yen. And what I've seen is that over these 4 years, there's certain patterns that happen over and over again on pound yen. And like, when we say certain patterns, it means that, like, okay, if price is going to come up, make a high, came down, make a support, probability for it to retest the high is going to be higher. So if I see that pattern happen over and over again, a point will come where I'm going to say, okay, you know what? I've been risking 2% on this trade every time. It's time to bump up the risk. If I see that again, I might say that, okay, instead of using 2% risk, maybe it's time to use 5% risk at this time. And I'm only going to use 5% risk when I know that I can manage the risk if price starts to go against me. If you're really, really good at risk management, only then you can manage your risk, or only then you can increase your risk at that time. When do you mark up new support resistance zones? Every day. Every time I come to the charts, or every time when I'm confused, or every time when I don't understand what price is doing, I remove everything and then I replot the zones. It's like refreshing your mind. So if you look at Euro JPY, we were anticipating this candle to close bullish for the next one to go up, and it didn't. This is where you look for confirmation. So even though the 30-minute candle closed bullish, it was not a good buy at that point because the 15-minute candle closed bearish. So you needed the candle to close in your direction to continue going up. Ooh, someone's getting mad here in the gulag. What's going on? Why are you kids fighting over here? It's like, when you go to the relative's house and our kids start fighting, we're like, hey, why are you kids fighting? What's going on? Share. Hey, what would you previous, what? Hey, Raja, what would you previous I used to teach stock trading? I don't know what that means. What would you suggest if I want to teach Forex? Previously, I used to teach stocks trading. I think if you want to move, I think the biggest problem right now in teaching is that there's a lot of saturation. There's a lot of gurus, there's a lot of mentors, so it's really hard to stand out. You have to stand out, with teaching, that's the thing. In the Forex education space, you have to stand out. And the only way you can stand out is if you can buy a Lamborghini, or you can buy like a nice car from the subscriptions people pay you, or if you can show legitimate results. I think if you can show legitimate results, that's going to make you stand out. And then that's going to work well. So, when I came to the industry, I saw that, everyone had like a nice car. All these gurus had nice cars, but they never showed any results. So I kept thinking, why, man? I mean, if you have these nice cars, you should be able to show live results or even show like a terminal, So I think that's where I changed a little bit because I wanted things to be a little different. Let's see here. Bitcoin is bad, no good at all except for money exchanges. I think so too. I think the only reason Bitcoin is going up is because of what we feel like its value is. Because there has been no news except for the fact that PayPal accepting Bitcoin, and that's way before than this big rally up over here. This was like maybe a month ago. So I think people are just staying home and then investing in Bitcoin. Like I was with my family friends 2 days ago, and he said, hey man, I downloaded this app called Coinbase. I'm like, oh, nice. What do you know about Coinbase? He's like, oh, well, Bitcoin. I'm like, oh, what are you doing in Bitcoin? He's like, oh, I bought some Bitcoin. I'm like, oh, nice. So it's people like those who are like, just like, so this is artificial pump on the price. When it's holidays, people getting money, bonuses at the end of the month. And then, that's what's driving price up right now. Let's see here. Hey, I'm late to the stream. I thought you weren't going to stream until January 11th. Couldn't resist the markets. I couldn't resist the gulag, man. I couldn't resist it. I mean, yesterday I woke up at like 6:30 and I was awake in my bed till like 8. And I was thinking, what am I doing? I could be with the gulag right now. Yeah, so I was bored. This is part of my life now, man. It's like part of my routine. I really enjoy looking at charts at this time. Even though if I'm not trading, I just enjoy it. It's just, I don't know, it's just that passion. I enjoy looking at charts at this point. Hey, what would you think about the 30-minute silver chart? Thanks. Okay, let's take a look over here. 30-minute silver chart. Oh, too zoomed in. All right, let's take a look over here. Oh, uh-oh, what's going on here? All right, let's try this again. All right, 30-minute silver chart. So right now we are ranging. If we break below this area, we have a 24 pip range. If we break above, we have the 55 pip range going up to the tip of your yellow line over here. And I think this is also going to be a clear range here too, up till this area here. Yeah, that's right. So far we're ranging at this point. You have resistances marked and supports marked. It's pretty good. Zone work is pretty good. Zone over here, maybe somewhere down over here too. This to keep in mind, you know, as price starts to come up. To keep in mind. Maybe I should troll more so he doesn't stream until January. Matinees. You know, in my what should I call this? Should I call this endeavor? Yeah. During my endeavor here, we've had a lot of trolls, and now, you know, trolls are just fine. They're part of the process. Hey Raja, I'm a lawyer trying to change my life so I can buy a house for my family. Started trading this year. Blew many accounts. Gonna learn to manage risk better with you. Thanks a lot. Phoenix Rodriguez. I don't want to sound like someone who's trying to sell a product, but okay, not even my product, but I think it's going to be better to get some sort of education on trading. You know, whether it's microfluidity, whether it's something else out there, but it's really important for you to get some sort of education. Because when I came into trading, I deposited $200. This was my first deposit, $200. I deposited $200 and I lost that after a week. And once I lost that, I was like, man, shit, okay, you know what? I need to learn this. And for me to learn this, I need to pay somebody to learn this because, you know, I went to babypips.com, I learned a little bit, but I needed guidance. So that's when I, like, you know, got my first mentor, and that's it. I only had one mentor. Ooh, someone donated $5. Merry Christmas, Raja from the Gulag. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So I guess I'll have to match that with 10 times the amount. There we go. $50 going here. I think this goes to a like a non-profit that YouTube sends it to. Awesome. There's $50 right there, matching every donation by 10 times. Is market fluidity membership? Yeah, so basically, since things are going to get busy for me next year, the market fluidity lifetime membership is ending from next year. It's going to go into like a monthly and a yearly thing like that. And it's going to be a little expensive too, so people don't sign up. You know, really encouraging people not to sign up as much. But it's open. The lifetime membership is open till the 27th of January. You can check out the links and not. If you open Brokerage, would you still be here with us? Yes. Yes. This is my world, man. I can't leave this world here forever. No. This is my world over here. The live streams, you know, the gulag. This is all what I know, so I can't leave this place. What's this? Another lawyer here who blew many accounts, usually with gold trades. I love your risk-averse lifestyle. Oh, style, it's what I need. Yes, sir. Beautiful. I close 50% when the candle closed bullish. What is your criteria to close full position? If I see prices closing against me, especially the 30-minute time frame, I'll close everything. Because I think if the 30-minute time frame is closing against you, that means there's a high probability for the next 30-minute to continue there as well, because 30-minute is a stronger confirmation time frame, right? So that's where I just close it. Apia Men's, Raja never analyzes my chart. It makes me feel sad and don't want to scam the chart. And don't want to spam the chat. Well, it is what it is sometimes. Sometimes there are so many messages coming in that we can't logically look at each and every message, right? Can you imagine take a law school with student loan and no, it's not even about that. I think we have some amazing doctors, we have amazing lawyers, amazing policemen, judges, accountants, you know, and we all go through schooling, we all go through some sort of a learning curve to get to that point, you know. So when we come towards trading, the ability to make money in trading is way more, from what I've seen, is way more than making money in anywhere else except for real estate. You know, so I mean, if you're going to come over here and if you're not going to get any sort of like formal education, it's going to get really hard to profit here, you know, because you can't expect to be a pilot without learning to, you know, fly a plane. It's the same thing here. You can't learn to trade if you don't know how to read price action over here. And we can see now this is the second half of this 30-minute candle that's coming up over here. And if it closes below this area, man, we're ranging now. It's going to get really difficult. If the 30-minute candle breaks the high of the previous one, we can continue going up. Yes, right here. It's like a 15 pip range. It's going to be like trying to squeeze pips out of this range. Oh, Kaspar Whitting, thank you for all, Raja. I learned a lot of things this year from you. Something in Germany. Frolich Wichtaten. Is that right? Frolich Wichtaten. German. I guess that says that's thank you, right? I tried. Frolich Wichtaten. How can I get in the lifetime intake? You probably don't qualify at this point. What do you want to name your brokerage? We named it Dominion Markets. That's what the name is. We named it Dominion Markets. Dominion Markets means a sanctuary. So that's what we named it. I think the only difference with this, I mean, it's just like any other crypto brokerage, right? Unregulated in major jurisdictions. I mean, crypto deposits, withdrawal, everything like that. The only different thing with what we did here is that people will be able to use their commissions to get education programs. You know, I tried implementing market fluidity in it, only the database, not the Slack group, only database. You know, so if someone who can't afford education programs, if they come and trade over here, they can use their commissions to get into the market fluidity database, or they can use their commissions to get magic keys, because you're going to be trading anyway. I mean, if you trade here, or you trade on Trader's Domain, or you trade on Hugo's Way, or you trade on, you know, Blackboard markets, IC markets, but here you can use your commissions to get some sort of knowledge, get magic keys. We're trying to get some other, like, you know, educational programs as well, so that you can use your commissions to get those programs too if you want. So that's what we're trying to do here. Why not name your broker Dominican Market? Dominican. That's a good one. Dominican Market. Yeah, probably we're going to run into some problems if we did that. What's going on? I thought the streams were done. Yeah, I got bored. I couldn't stay away. Will it have copy trading? Yeah, we're gonna have some sort of a leaderboard there as well. So we're gonna see how that turns out. What do you think about QBanks? I think, you know, he's a good guy, cool guy. We're friends. You know, we talk here and there. It's pretty cool. You such a good soul helping traders. I don't know if I'm helping traders or not. I'm just a regular guy and just waiting for these candles to close. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be right back. I think my coffee is done downstairs. It's been done for about half an hour now. All right. Let's see here. Gold is ranging, GJ is ranging, volume's dying. Your JPY is now coming back down in the range, probably doing like a retest to like 126, 460, 480. Bitcoin is at 23,200. You know, yesterday I saw a stream where this person was trading candles on Bitcoin. I was like, oh, it's a pretty interesting concept. Hey Raja, you should consider making a Discord. I could help you if you'd like. Yeah, I've thought about that, but then, you know, like having the gulag in the Discord, this is going to be a zoo. Am I correct in saying if I purchase your membership before December 27, then it's for one payment? Then it's lifetime? Yes, it's lifetime. I try not to answer much questions on that on a live stream because I think it defeats the purpose of the live streams. But yeah, it's going to be lifetime. What trade are you currently in? I am in the trade of life, which is ranging right now. I am in no trade right now. There's no trades. I mean, why are you guys looking for trades? It's just, we're just here because I'm bored. You know, like you got Christmas Eve in 2 days. I mean, you guys nuts? Just chill. You know, there's no need to enter trades. We have the whole next year coming on. You know, we got January coming in, February coming in. There's so much. Listen, there's going to be so much volatility next year. It's insane. Do you guys even understand how much volatility is going to be? You guys think March, April were volatile? Wait till COVID-21 comes in, this new strain. This new strain is going to throw the markets off of its rocker, man. Like, things are going to go wild. You have, like, COVID new strain. You have vaccines coming in. You have a lot of things happening. Brexit. Holy. So just chill till January. You're going to see some wild market conditions. All right. I'm a firm believer that with the guidance of market fluidity and risk management, number one priority, I will never blow an account. You know what? That's something that's never going to happen. I can guarantee you that if you can manage risk, you can never blow an account. Ever. You can never blow account if you're managing risk. Because if you're managing risk, man, it's gonna take you a very, very long time to blow your account. 100%. And that's what we've seen, you know, in the last month. Even in this month, I know some people who blew accounts because they didn't manage risk. And it's super sad, you know, because during the holiday month, you're doing all that stuff. What's this? OG Drainer. In simple terms, using your friend who bought Bitcoin as an example, could you explain supply demand, please? All right. So supply demand. Okay, so I'm going to explain something that I think works for me, and I think some people may disagree with that. That's perfectly fine. I don't really care. But for me, supply demand, support resistance zones, they're all the same thing. I see no difference in those zones. You know, someone can say, oh yeah, they are. That's perfectly fine. If you think like that, that's totally normal. You know, but I think supply demand, support resistance, they're all the same thing. You know, I also think that okay, so there's this book, right? There's this book called www.google.com, and then you go to we don't need no stinking indicators. Oh, stinking badges? No. Stinking indicators. Yeah, this book right over here. Come on, man. PDF. We don't need no stinking indicators. Yeah, this is a really good book that's going to break down supply, demand, and support resistance for you. So what I learned from this book was, I'm not sure why it's not showing up over here. Oh yeah, we have some things over here, but this is not the right one. So what I learned from here was that supply demand, it was basically created for like your stocks, your equities, like, you know, when you're trading like wheat, sugar, like, you know, corn, and all those commodities. That's where supply demand comes from, because it's mainly based on how much of a supply of wheat we have, how how much of a supply of like corn and stuff we have. So like, when I came towards Forex, I was like, okay, well, we have support resistance, we have supply demand, so it's mainly the same thing. And I just see reversals basically. So if I remove all these lines here from this chart and we go down to the 4-hour time frame, actually let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. The only thing I'm going to be looking at is the most recent 1-hour candle, right? So I'm looking at this candle right over here, which is moving bullish, and then I'm looking at the previous candle, and the previous candle I see is also bullish. I'm like, okay, so let's take a look at the one before that. The one before that is bearish. Right over here. So if it's bearish and we have bullish candle, so I'm telling myself, okay, you know what? This is a support right over here. We formed a support. And if we formed a support, there's a high probability for price to continue moving up. And now when I see that, okay, if price is going to move up, I have to identify that, okay, where is the next zone where price can move up to? So next zone I see right at 138, let's say 980, 990. This is the next zone where I see price can move into. Perfect. So now I have my resistance. Well, I have my top zone and I have my bottom zone. Now, whether you want to call it resistance, you want to call it support, you want to call this demand, or you want to call it supply, that's totally up to you. But I call these zones. I have my top zone, my bottom zone. If we break the top zone, there's a probability with volume, price can continue on towards this higher zone here at 139, 300. With volume. If there's no volume, it's going to get very tough, right? Let's take a look at this chart over here. Did I see something that wasn't there? Maybe 15-minute zone. This was paper trade on gold. Got stopped out pretty quick. Let's take a look here on gold. Candle closed above. Second candle closed bullish. Paper trade entry when candle broke the high. I'm not sure whether the arrows are pointing correctly, but from what I can see is that this candle didn't break the high of the previous candle. That's what I see here. So I don't know why it says paper trade entry when candle broke the high, when this candle, I can visually see it didn't break the high. So I don't know. Maybe we're missing something, or maybe the line is not at the correct place or what, but yeah, see here, I don't see candle breaking the high. And even though if this was breaking the high, this previous candle closed with a small body over here and it didn't break the high here. I can see that here clearly. See, now this next one is coming up over here. It's coming back up to this area where it rejected before. Let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. Let's remove all these analyses and let's do a fresh analysis here on gold, right? So since it was getting a little complicated. So looking at the 4-hour time frame, what we see is that there was a support formed at 1876, right? We had support formed at 1876, price breakdown to support on the 4-hour time frame, make a low at 1866, now we're coming up. So looking down on a 1-hour time frame, we can see that there was this support formed, kind of like bring it down over here now a little bit. Right, and now looking down to the 30-minute time frame, yeah, we're at this area now. This was a rejection area, so I think we'll need price to close above this area like 1875, 1876 for price to continue up towards 78 and 79, and yeah, but right now it's just in the range here. Sorry, Raja, I missed what Dominion Markets is. Would you tell me about it? You founding the brokerage? Yes, so I partnered up with someone in the industry and we launched Dominion Markets. I think it was the next step. I had money put aside, money saved aside, and I think it just made sense to start this project and see how well it goes. And also, like, this was the next step here for me too. I think what happened was, there was this guy I used to listen to all the time. All the time I used to listen to this guy. I listened to this guy almost like once every 2 weeks, and Chat with Traders episode 82. Right? I listen to this guy twice a week. No, once every 2 weeks. And every time I listen to him, every time I pick up on something he's done, which subconsciously I'm moving towards, because he started as a trader, right? He started as a trader. Then he went into teaching, and he was also trading at the time. He traded really, really well. And then he started a brokerage. And in that brokerage, they mainly focus on trading character, like making sure like traders are really following their rules. They have certain programs to like mold traders to like, manage their risk better, be more patient, be more disciplined and stuff like that. And yesterday when I was like filing my documents to MetaQuotes, what I thought about was, I'm like, man, damn, subconsciously I'm doing the same thing which he did. Started trading, went into the teaching space, and then subconsciously now starting my own, like, this platform there. And I was like, oh wow, crazy. Like subconsciously, like you become what you listen to every day. So yeah, that was pretty powerful there. I have a trading plan. What's this? Hey Raja, I have a trading plan, a journal of 5 types of entries, 4 time frame, 3 confidence for perfect trade, can't forget risk management. I like to be objective in a way. Low-key added helps me improve. Oh, nice. If you send that trading plan in the Slack group, I'm going to take a look at it. There are a bunch of plans I need to take a look at today. Trading plans. I made the same mistake, but often I think that when it breaks the wick, I missed a trade. Yeah, man. That's the thing. I think sometimes I wish I didn't introduce the concept of impulse entries, because a lot of people are now taking entries as soon as price breaks the wick. But the idea is that whenever it's breaking the wick, you need to just stay calm and you need to wait. You need to stay calm and you need to wait to see where price is going to go after it's breaking the wick, or especially when the wick has been broken in the first half of the candle versus in the second half of the candle. Sometimes you're going to miss moves, and when you miss moves, that's perfect when you're missing the move. Because when you're missing move, you can look back and say that, okay, how could I have entered that trade and then taken that trade? Hey Raja, what broker would you recommend for GJ for US traders for low spreads? I can't say that anymore. Because there is no such thing as a low spread broker in the US, which is regulated. There is no such thing. You have FX Choice, where GG has a 3 pip spread. You have Oanda, same thing, high spread. Someone is saying IC markets. I think you need to get some sort of a education done when you say IC markets in the US. You cannot trade IC markets in the US because IC markets is not regulated in the US. That's why you can't trade it. Made a loss because of poor risk management. Oh, nice. Someone made a loss because of poor risk management. It's not nice. All right. What do you think about hedge fund? I don't know. Maybe move into the hedge fund industry in the next 3 years, 4 years. 4 years. We'll see what happens. I kind of want to open like a private bank, but baby steps. Let's see how this goes. Will your broker be regulated? No. It's not going to be regulated in major jurisdictions at all, because regulation means higher spreads, higher commissions. It just makes no sense. So just like any other crypto brokerages, it's not going to be regulated in major jurisdictions. I mean, here's the thing. If you have a broker and it's not regulated in the US, it's not regulated at all. I mean, if you look at Vantage FX, it's unregulated in North America. You look at IC markets, it's unregulated in North America. So it depends. I can send my trading plan as a PowerPoint, but I don't know how that would work. Yeah, we can still take a look at that PowerPoint. That'll still work. I can take a look at that later on if you want. Will you be coming tomorrow? Yes, I'll be here tomorrow. How do you do Forex taxes? Forex taxes is different. I mean, if you're trading, let's say personally, right? If you're trading personally and you're making profits, those are your capital gains, and I know in Canada, you get charged 40% tax on 50% of your gains if it's personal. But if you're trading from a company, there are ways to go around that, because if you're trading from a company, then all those profits you're making from a corporate standpoint, you get charged 13% tax on anything you profit below 500,000. If it's above 500,000, then you get taxed 17%. But then also at the same time too, if you're losing, then those losses can be added on as expenses. If you're paying commissions, those commissions can also be added on as expenses. So there are like different ways to look at it. But the best way to do it is to be mainly talk to your accountant. Have you got any good trading journals? Yes. If you go to, this is a really good trading journal, Trixie.trade. Really good journal over here. It's loading over here now. Once it loads, yeah, right here. This is a sample of one of our members. He journals on Trixie.trade. Really nice over here. You can pull out the whole chart. You can map out your entry on the 15-minute. You can go to the 30-minute and the same entry is going to be there. If someone wants to see how you entered based on the 5-minute time frame, you can take a look at that as well. You go to the 5-minute time frame and you can take a look at that as well. And then there's another one that people use. It's called Trello. Trello is free, but the thing with Trello is that it's basically not for trading, is it? No, it's not for trading. It's not trading specific. So you have to put on screenshots one after the other. So yeah, that's the thing. Someone is saying in the gulag that the bottom guy on the screen is living life right now. They're talking about Joe Camacho. Joe Camacho is laying down on his arms and it looks like he's living life right now. Yo, Joe, the gulag was watching you. That's hilarious, man. Joe's like, what the fuck? Okay. So it looks like gold is breaking up over here. What's the main difference between Traders Domain and Dominion Markets? There's no difference. The only difference is going to be that in Dominion Markets you will be able to use your commissions towards, a course or magic keys or something like that. Otherwise, I think all crypto brokers are the same, except for, differences in spreads and all that stuff. Will your broker be available in Mississauga, Ontario? You'll be able to deposit via crypto if you're from Mississauga or Canada or the US. So those things are still going to be hashed out later on, so we'll see what happens. Do you aim for a percentage each day? No, I don't aim for a percentage each day. I aim for a profitable move each day. A profitable move. So what I'm looking on pound yen here is to break above 139 so we can continue on towards 139, 170, 180 and then all the way towards 139, 300. That's going to be the target there, 139, 300 if we break above this point here. But here's the thing, man, the volume is dying, Christmas is coming on, institutions have left the market, major banks are leaving the market. The only thing that's moving the market right now is the virus, the vaccines, and the algos and the traders. That's it. How much commission for being an IB? We have no idea. We're waiting for confirmations from MetaCourse right now, and then we're going to see what happens. Can you start a DBA trading? I don't know what that means. DBA trading. How would you pay taxes on crypto broker where you don't even have to put in any personal information to open a live account? That's a very interesting question. So when you have brokerages where you open accounts via crypto, you don't have to put any information, right? Makes sense. But as soon as that money comes, okay, here's the thing. So I'm in Canada, right? So if I make profits on crypto, and if that money comes in Canada, in a Canadian bank, then I pay taxes on that. And then you pay taxes on that. If it comes in the US, if the money comes in a bank, then you have to pay taxes on that. Didn't know my camera was on. You just need to chill and learn more. There's no need to trade on holidays. Yes, exactly, Joe. That's exactly true. Yeah, guys, you just need to focus on trading over here rather than what people are doing. But that was actually pretty hilarious. If you want, I can blur that part on the live stream later on. It was hilarious because I. All right, let's see here. Have you thought about opening a bank account in your name in your home country and withdraw profits there? You know what? Here's what I'm trying to do. Well, here's what we're trying to do. There is a large population in Pakistan who cannot trade, right? Who have problems depositing money in brokerages. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to work with the bank in Pakistan where people will be able to deposit funds in that bank account locally and then trade on our brokerage. And then withdrawing is going to be the same concept. So that's what we're trying to do for people in my country, back home. Because there are a lot of guys who want to trade, and so we're trying to open those avenues. Same thing goes for India too, but we don't have any relationships with any banks in India. So all my Indian friends, too bad so far. Until we get a relationship there, we can't do that anymore. Can someone in the UK use them? Yes. Can you start a business trading? Can you start a business trading? I think that sentence is incomplete. Can you start a business trading? Trading what? Trading education, trading seminars, trading, I don't know. Do you think gold can retest 1851? I don't know, man. If you're holding sells, 1851 is far away right now. Right now, we're moving up at this point. And if we look to the left-hand side, see we're coming back in this range now. We're closing back above 1875, 1876. So looking on the 1 hour time frame, we're coming back in this range now to go all the way to 1881. Oh, we're coming up to this area of rejection here as well. Yes, Raja, it's true. I'm from Pakistan, and it's really difficult in Pakistan because banks are always like, it's illegal in Pakistan. In State Bank, it's like it's not illegal. Oh, yeah. So we're trying to bridge the gap over here. Man, I have a lot of followers from, like Pakistan and all those developing countries. And I think there's a huge market there. There's a huge market that's not being served right now. So I think this is going to help a lot of people. You said India Murdabad and Pakistan Zindabad on your Twitter. I never said that. That's false. Sending in some fake news over here. The gulag. What's this? Gold is a wave C short. Buyer move up. Buy. I don't know what that means. Gold is wave C short. Buyer move up guy. I don't know what that means. What about Iran? Are we going to be able to trade from Iran? No. Iran is banned everywhere. I don't know what you guys are doing over there, but you guys are banned everywhere, man. On all brokerages, cryptos, everywhere. So you guys need to relax. So, price is still ranging over here. It's about like 8 minutes left towards 8:30. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to watch to see how this news plays out. And then I'm going to call it a day. And then see here. Thursday, no volume at all. Euro closed, AUD closed, New Zealand closed. Friday, everything closed because it's a holiday. Oh, Wix don't lie is the Twitter handle. Yeah, I don't know who that person is, but I would never say those things to India. India is my friend, man. We're all brothers. We all look alike too. People in the USA can set up account under crypto and deposit using credit card, correct? I'm not sure. We're waiting for confirmations. All right. Let's take a look here. Do you ever use live chart? Yes, this is a live chart over here. The real question is, how does one deposit via crypto? You need to have crypto, and then you need to send that crypto to the address you're going to get in the client portal, and then you can deposit via there. You should try options. No thanks. I'm good. I only focus on Forex. I know Forex really, really well, and I can make money in Forex, and I'm just going to focus on Forex. You know, for some people, options work for them, then that's perfect. Why are spreads different on different brokers? Some have less, some have more. Is there a reason why? Yes. So it basically depends on liquidity feeds, right? Liquidity has a lot to do with that. If you look at brokerages like Hugo's Way, you're going to find, okay, so I can only give examples on the liquidity feed I have. And hold on. Someone did a phone call. Okay. So the liquidity feed we're gonna go off of is going to be the same as TradingView. No, it's going to be same as the Traders Domain, because you know they have really good liquidity feeds when it comes to crypto brokerages. I mean, the spread on GJ right now there is like 1.1, 1.2, you know, 9 sometimes. So if I look at liquidity feeds, sometimes let's say like Hugo's Way, it's a little higher. You know, it's like 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. So that's why there are differences, right? And to get better liquidity feeds, you need to put more money in it too. Like you need to pay more to get a better liquidity feed, because then your spreads are going to be lower. You know, and when you pay more to get lower spreads, it's going to be more attractive for people to trade on the brokerage as well. And I think the reason why, so let me show you this, right? So let me show you guys the website over here. So the way brokers make money is through spreads and commissions. And the incentive programs we have is going to allow people to get in market fluidity database or to get magic keys, because the better you guys are going to trade, the more money the brokerage is going to make. You know, that's the thing. There are some brokerages like, you know, I mean, I don't want to talk anything about it, but like, here's the thing, right? I mean, that's why we focused on an incentive model to actually make sure people keep trading and they keep on winning. Because our motto is that we make money when you win. And when you win, you stay more happier, you know, because traders, when they make money, they're happy that way. What's your thought on trading and analyzing on phone? Man, I think you need to stop that. I think you need to stop trading and analyzing on the phones. That's not going to work at all. Because here's the thing: when you're analyzing on the phone, this is what you see. This is all what you see, like this. This is what you see when you analyze on the phone. This is your screen right over here. Like, you can turn the phone, you know, like to the sideways and you can see more information. But when you trade on your computer, man, this is your view right here on your computer. Look at this. So nice. You can look all the way to the left hand side. Are you going to do a live stream tomorrow and the rest of the week? Probably not. I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and then maybe day after tomorrow. Maybe day after tomorrow. And then let's take a look how next week looks. Probably there's going to be no live stream next week at all either. Like, look, right? Monday, holidays, and then Wednesday, just nothing happening. Next week is a straight no trading week at all. No volume at all. And then the week after that, we move into like normal market condition, but still the volume is going to be pretty low. I don't want to bet on it. Oh, there's NFP as well. Yeah, we're probably going to be streaming that time as well. And then we're going to be back the week after that. Please suggest any more financial education channel or website, just like Minority Mindset, to improve my financial literacy. I think Minority Mindset is a really good channel. Minority Mindset. I'm going to write it here for everybody. Minority Mindset. I just recently started following them. I think to get financial literacy, what you need to do is you need to start saving money first. right? When you start saving money and when the amount gets to a certain level, then you start to look to see that, okay, I have certain amount in my bank account. What can I do with this? Then you start exploring other options, other avenues where you can invest money, put it somewhere, so that's how you increase your financial literacy. I didn't increase my financial literacy until I hit, this year, I think we did around like 1.2 million. And I didn't hit financial literacy until I got to that point, because I talked to my accountant. My accountant said, "Hey, like, you know what? Your business is still a small business, right? Bigger businesses which do a turnover of about like 5 million and above, 5 million, 10 million, 1 million above, still small business." So he told me certain things I didn't know before, when it comes towards like taxes, how to minimize taxes, expenses, like where I can put money aside to maybe pay less tax. So those things come around when you get to certain levels financially, and then you start to see that, okay, how can you move money around a little bit? So I think another really good channel is Graham Stephen, or Stephen Graham. Wait, I think it's Stephen Graham here. This guy does really well. YouTube.com. We go to Stephen Graham. This channel here is pretty good, really good channel. Like if you look at his older videos, now he's just making like almost like a clickbait videos. But if you look at the older ones are really, really good. They're really, really good videos. He talks about 401ks, TFAs, like credit card debt, how to use taxes, and like a lot of important information he talks about. So that's worth noticing over there. Man, the Gulag is saying that, oh, this guy did 1.2 million this year. Oh, wow. No, man. That's peanuts. That's peanuts. Because day before yesterday, I was talking to my brother, and we were talking about how Messi, like, that soccer player, football player, Messi, I don't know, we didn't know the exact number, but I guess his deal was £600,000 a week. So can you imagine £600,000 a week? Man is making over $1 million a month, and then we were talking about, oh man, like we grinded our ass to make $1 million a year. This guy's making $1 million a month, so that's another level, so when you start looking at those levels, you're just like, oh wow, I have no business to maybe be proud of what I have. No business at all. Like there are people doing way over those numbers. Like there are guys making way more, than we can imagine. So that's a lot. Look at this. Belle Delphine makes 1 million per month with OnlyFans. Well, there we go. With OnlyFans, you can make $1 million too, apparently. Will you continue your live stream after you launch your brokerages? Yes. The live streams are going to continue, man. Live streams are what's made us here today. So live streams are going to continue. So we got the news coming in, and you can see there's no volatility. Nothing. Absolutely nothing happening at this point. Any possible trades on your JPY? Yo, I think it's doing a little reversal over here. It's doing a little somersault. I think if your JPY stays above 126.580, it can continue on towards 126.700, 720. And if there's volume by New York Stock Exchange open, it can continue moving up, right? So with this one candle doesn't mean price is going to go up. You need price to close above this area, because you can see how many candles broke above this area and closed back inside. So you need at least the 30-minute or the 15-minute to close above, like 126, 620, 618 to support the price and go up. We're going to see Gulag complain about that get stopped out in trades for the spread. Oh yeah, it is what it is. The gulag is always complaining. Here's the thing about humanity, you know, humans are always going to complain. Hell, man, I complain sometimes too. I complain about the lines at Walmart now. You know, I'm the biggest complainer in the world. I complain about everything if I see it. How do you know what news affect GJ to move up or down? You don't know that. You need to study price action based on that. You know, right now price is just ranging over here. And if price is ranging, we can create these levels. I'm going to create these levels and then I'm going to call it a day over here. So, right, if we break below 138,600, very high probability for price to come into this, you know, 30, 35 pip range. Well, 25 to 30 pip range. But if we break above 138, 139, then a very high probability to not only come up towards 139,200, but all the way up towards 139,300, 30 pip range. What do you do if you have some losing trades after each other and your motivation gets a bit low? I think whenever people, here's something that I hate now, you know, and this is something I'm going to complain on. And this mindset that people have is not good, because when you take a losing trade and when people say that, hey man, I'm taking these losing trades, I don't know what to do. You know, I mean, are you a coward? Like, really, tell me. Like, if you take a losing trade and you tell somebody, hey, I'm taking a losing trade, what should I do? What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't help you at all. When you're taking a losing trade, what you need to do is you need to take a look at that losing trade and you need to see that, okay, how could I have taken a winning trade? You know, so this goes back to this here. Someone said that, what do you do if you have some losing trades after each other and your motivation gets low? You need to see why you're taking losing trades. You need to see if you took a losing trade, your analysis was wrong. So was there something you missed? Was there something you ignored? Was there something you didn't see at that point? How could you have taken a winning trade? Start thinking about how could you have taken a winning trade instead of thinking about, oh, I'm taking losing trades. That doesn't help no one. You know, that statement means you're not looking to see how to solve the problem. You know, you're just thinking about the losing trade. You need to start thinking of the opposite. How could you have taken the winning trade? You know, and when you start thinking about how you could have taken the winning trade, then you start learning something from that loss. If you're just taking a losing trade and saying, hey, I'm just taking losses, man, you're not learning fuck all at that point. Like, when you take losses, just see how you can take the winning trade. It's the same thing as, like, you know, when you have boxers, you know, boxers and these athletes, they always look back and see how their game was. They always look at the rounds. Like, you know, what are certain things they could have done better to win a certain round? You know, they'll look at those highlights. You know, they're never going to say, oh, man, yeah, that round was bad. Yeah, whatever. No, man. They're going to learn from it. So if you're not learning from it, the biggest change that came in my trading was when I started to look at losses as learning opportunities. Big change came. You know, as long as I didn't do that, there was no change coming. How can I join the mentorship and unlearn to learn everything? You can't. You don't qualify with that question. The laziness and not wanting to put in the work. Yeah, that's true. You know, like when you take a losing trade, it's a learning opportunity. All the time, 100%, it's a learning opportunity. Same thing right over here, right? Let's say if this candle moved up and someone took a buy over here and price came down and you lost the trade, it's not a losing trade, it's a learning opportunity. And I think what you can learn from this point is that if price rejected and came down, maybe now you can say that, okay, well, maybe I could have waited for candle to close above. And if the candle closed above, maybe that would have been a better trade. And you make a note of that. Because if next time the same situation happens, you're not going to be taking a buy at that point. You're going to be waiting for a candle to close. So that's how you learn. Raphael Palmdale, he makes 1 million a week. What's your opinion? It's all demo. I mean, if you're making millions like that, you should be able to back that up with your terminal, right? I mean, if you look at this over here, I go to my profile is going to load over here. If we go to my profile, I have my entire months all logged over here. Look, March, April, all logged from a MetaTrader. May, June, July, August, everything is logged over here. September, October, November. So if you look at all the gurus on Instagram, they will post more about their cars rather than their performances. So just keep that in mind when you look at someone who has a nice car or who's buying cars, you know. Just look at what they're posting more. Are they posting about their performance more, or are they posting about the things they've bought from subscriptions? You know, like I like to show off what I do all the time, and I like to show off what I do, and what I do best is trade. And when I trade well, I show it to everybody. I show my entire performance. I don't want to show off with things I have. I want to show off with the things I've done. You know, and that's the best show off. Can you remember what business type under which you incorporated? I incorporated under education. That's where I incorporated under education. How many years did it take you to make the first million? 33 years. 33 years. And it's not about making a million. It's about being worth that much. You know, so I guess when I bought the house, I was worth $1 million. When I bought the house. Due to private mentorships, those things don't exist. Opinions on Nick Sean FX. He's a cool guy. We had them on a live stream. Maybe 4 months ago, 3 months ago. How much are Forex taxes in Canada? 40% on 50% of your withdrawals. Someone is saying I'm referencing certain people. No, man, I'm referencing every guru on the internet who posts more about their cars rather than their performances. That's who I'm referencing. Everyone. You know, so. You said the live stream will start on January 11. Why? Well, Brown Panther, I'm sorry. I'm sorry the live streams are continuing. Brown Panther from the Gulag. Did you work very hard for your house because it's an inspiration for the Gulag? Yeah, man. I worked really hard for the house. I mean, I grinded 10 pips. You know, I grinded 10 pips, 15 pips. It wasn't easy. I mean, the down payment was 200,000. You know, and to save 200,000, that's a big deal. And at the same time, paying taxes every year. So it was a grind. 10 pips, 15 pips. Got it. And during that time, I remember there were a lot of people out there who were saying, oh, these guys only go for 10 pips. I mean, what does 10 pip gets you? 10 pips got me a house, man. But you just got to stay consistent. That's the thing. You got to stay consistent. What kind of a payment can you use on Dominion Markets, PayPal, debit cards? Mostly crypto. We're looking at payment processors for debit cards, and if they work, awesome, perfect. How's your daily routine look like as far as Forex trading concerned? I'm faking it till I make it. Thanks. Oh, my daily routine is I'm probably going to leave in 5 minutes, and then I'm going to have breakfast, and then I'm going to go to the gym at 10 a.m. and then I just got some work to do, and that's it. That is it. I'm not trading this month at all. There's been no trading done for me this month. How can I sign up for Dominion Markets? Okay, so what you can do is you can mainly sign up for the newsletter here, and as we move forward. Yeah, so you can sign up for the newsletter, and as we move forward, you're gonna get updates on what's happening and stuff like that. So it's gonna be pretty good. Pips work best when you have a bigger account size and multiple streams of income. That is false. That is absolutely false. I was doing 10 pips since I had a $5,000 account, $6,000 account, $3,000 account. Been doing 10 pips for so long, and it doesn't matter because here's the thing. When someone says 10 pips only works when you have a smaller account, what does that mean? It doesn't. Because, that means you're not giving time for your account to grow. That's what that means. You're not giving it enough time. Because if you have a $2,000 account, and if you're risking 1% a day, or if you're risking like 2% a day, and you're consistently gaining 10% a month, 15% a month, that's a lot of gains, and you need to give it time. If you think that you need to make a lot of money in the first 6 months, never gonna happen. Quit trading right now. quit trading right now. It's never going to happen. In 6 months, you're never going to make a lot of money. You know, like I say, maybe 2% out of 100%. Some people may make it, but overwhelming majority is going to get nowhere within the first 4 or 5 months. I mean, man, I didn't get nowhere in 4 or 5 months, man. I lost almost all my life savings in the first 4 or 5 months. You know, and then later on it came back, you know. So I mean, when you say that 10 pips on smaller accounts don't work, you're lying to yourself. That's an excuse. Because think about it. If you're aiming for 50 pips, how often are you getting 50 pips? Are you getting 50 pips every day? Probably not. You know, but can you get 10 pips every day? Oh, 100%. 100% you can get 10 pips, 15 pips. You can secure 10 pips, 15 pips every day. You know, but if you're aiming for 50 pips, just secure 10 pips and let the rest run. If it hits 50 pips, perfect. You know, but if it doesn't, then it is what it is. Do you have a long-term portfolio of stocks to passively grow your money? Why or why not? I don't have it, and the reason why I don't have it, because I don't know anything about stocks. But what I do know is that most tech stocks are going to go up. Most tech stocks, because you know a lot of people are going to stay home now with this new wave coming in, and I think like working from home is just going to be normalized now. It's going to be very normal to work from home, and a lot of tech companies are going to come up and they will move up. Am I counting pips wrong, or gold just moves 50 pips easily? You're counting pips wrong. I think the education behind how gold moves is not there. And if we're looking at gold over here, let's take a look at gold at this point. Every dollar move on gold is 1 pip move on gold. Every dollar move, which means is if gold moves from 1877.60 to 1878.60, that's the 10 pip move. So, and then you can do the math. All right, so I'm going to head off over here. Thank you everyone for joining in. My friends were not here today, so it was just me, and just, you know, we tried to entertain you guys here today. But seems like your JPY should be continuing to move up over here. This candle is about to close in 15 minutes, 13 minutes, so 126.700 seems far away. It's not that far away at all. It's like 7 pips away. Pound yen is ranging. Again, we have these levels here. If we break below here again, we can continue down clean ranges. So we'll see what happens. Not going to be trading, just going to be watching to see if these concepts do play out here or not. So take care, Gulag. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. We'll see you tomorrow.